Alrighty, so I'm just talking to you right now, and oh my God, stop. I just need to check one little thing. Before we jump into this, hold on. I'm actually gonna hit pause. Okay, so we are good. We are ready to go. So let's jump in. So I have obviously like my own unique way of doing synastry. So if you're trying to learn, um, I mean, yeah, you can learn from me, but just know that other astrologers have different methods. I mean, of course, I do use, like composite and all of that, and inner aspects and all the other stuff. But I have my own way of kind of doing it. So let's start by sharing the screen. It's recording good. Let's check the audio. Let's make sure. And timer, turn on your timer, Jesse. So do like a 17-hour reading. Okay, so let's share the screen. So as we see here, this is just like your guys' two charts. I like to get an idea of of the two charts, just very zoomed out. Should I make a coffee? And what I realized that I'm going to do, which you learn as you go as an astrologer, with Zoom you're able to pause, so you're able to, like, when you're recording something on Zoom, you're able to pause. So that actually is huge for this kind of reading, because I end up having to access notes more for this type of reading than I do for other ones, right? So and it's because it is more, it takes more out of me. So more breaks. Like, I don't usually take breaks, but like it's helpful for me and with these kind of readings to take breaks. But now I'm thinking, should I make myself a good old coffee? Maybe in a second. But before that, let's start by just looking very, very basic. Who is Laura? Who is Denis, right? Laura, you are a fire machine. I'm joking, but it's kind of, you are a fire person, right? Like, so you're Leo rising, right, with North Node and Leo. So one thing that's just like that stands out, that's such a beautiful energy, which shows you as a soulmates, is the fact that his North Node, your North Node, which in a chart, the North Node has to do with like the highest possible karma, is conjunct, right? Like, it's conjunct his South Node, right? So you see how here, this is the South Node. It's at 3 Leo, and your North Node is in I don't know who I'm talking to. I'm just gonna assume I'm talking to both of you guys. You guys are both watching this. Actually, I don't even know. But basically, there's a lot. So you guys, when you met, and then the Jupiter, right? Denis's Jupiter is conjunct Laura's ascendant. So that right there is like massive. Like, that says so much. The question is, can I make a coffee with my beautiful machine while I do this, or should I pause? I think I can try it. And if it makes too much noise, actually, no, these headphones block out all external sound. Some people like when I make coffee, like when I make like my coffees, like when I'm doing readings, like they like say it's like grounding to watch. I'm like, that's kind of weird. I don't think I'm like grounding. This oat milk is the best thing in the world. I swear to God, it's like a thousand. Like, I can't drink like milk, but it's like 1,000 times better than milk. It's so good. Like, oat milk is like heaven. And with cereal, not that I eat cereal often, I'm like sound like a child right now, but like, it's the best. So right off the bat, what does that say? That says surefire. 1 second. Let me close my blinds. Surefire 1000%. Oh no. I forgot that I'm using this microphone and that I cannot speak. Like, usually I just use these, but once in a while I do desk readings. A lot of times I do couch readings. Now I'm doing a desk reading. So yeah, anyways, this is like surefire, right? I made a post about this recently, like signs that you're like in a karmic relationship. Well, basically, like, Laura, you're in this lifetime trying to become how Dennis naturally is. So I don't know how much you know about astrology. It sounds like you know quite a bit, but like just the fact that the south node of Dennis is in Leo, right? Mine also. And there's Jupiter's there too, is that he has almost karmically in some way perfected the Leo archetype, right? Which, in my view is about being able to like express yourself, being able to um like find this, like I always call it authentic self-expression, right? And it's a very, very creative place. Now, with that said, the lower side of Leo, so you guys like kind of both complete each other in a sense, right? Which is very, like, I don't like to use the word twin flamey, but like, very soulmatey, right? Because like where one of you is weak, the other is strong, like from like a past life perspective, and vice versa. So it's like, with just the first one, like Dennis is very, very good at being himself, right? And you do have all this fire in your chart, Laura. And I haven't done your nail chart. Like usually, like people like have me like start doing like they have me do their nail charts before I do any other readings. But like I make exceptions with astrocartography and compatibility. I don't think you should be hearing this noise if these are doing their job. But essentially, he's completely like almost probably too like overdone it, right? The Leo energy, being very proud, a proud Frenchman, no, but like, just someone who's able to express themselves. And he is a Libra in this lifetime with a Scorpio moon, and I believe that we take on energies like we take on like our sun sign or moon sign, like the personal planets, that have like a link to what we're trying to accomplish karmically. So looking at your chart with your north node in Leo, right, in the first house, I feel like in all this Aries stellium, I believe that in past lifetimes you were not this fiery person, right? You were not this this person who was able to put yourself first. You're someone who, Libra South Node, who was maybe too relationship oriented. I mean, it's on the descendant. Your South Node of Libra is on the descendant. So you're someone who probably defined themselves, a high likelihood that you define yourself in past lives too much based on kind of like your role in the relationships you're in, right? Like partnerships you're in. My nice bowl. So in this lifetime, you've taken on a character, ascendant in Leo, a sun and a moon in Aries with Venus and Mars there. So you have every single personal planet is in fire, besides Mercury, which is in Pisces, right? So that's kind of how it is for you. And then you have a lot of your outer planets down in that third house, right? Which to me, is about finding your voice. So so these are like themes that I would have uncovered, that I would have been able to uncover more effectively, but that are very obvious to me, being a natal chart expert. Finding your voice and just like the karma is like for you to become a more confident and someone who's able to be selfish and not selfish in the bad way. Like selfish is maybe not the right. Someone who does things for themselves and who like doesn't have to just like always like make sure like people please, because there's definitely like a past life tendency in relationships for people pleasing and for potential codependence. Like there's a past life tendency of codependence, right? So you're gonna see how I do these readings. It's probably a lot different than a lot of astrologers, because I like to paint the picture, right? I like to really take it step by step and paint the entire picture, right? So that is you. So in this lifetime, you've taken on a life of adventure with all your ninth house. You've taken on a life of I'm gonna sip some of this coffee. Second. Oh God, I just spilled. No. One second. Sorry. I spilled in the bowl and I want to drink out of the bowl. The bowl's clean. Okay. So you've taken on a life of adventure and a very fiery chart. So it's very clear that your guides, that in this lifetime you were really meant to to really like be an independent person who is a pioneer, who is a go-getter, very masculine energy, right? Now, and in past lives, the potential of having your voice held back, right? Now I want to see one other thing too. Okay. Anything in Capricorn. And then also, the fact that you have your moon is that a square? No, it's not. Jesse, it's not a square. It is cardinal. I can't see. No, that's a trine. Okay, so there's none of these. And is there anything with Libra? Yeah. So there is your sun, and your sun is opposite Pluto, and your moon is as well. So that's very interesting. And that kind of makes like a big part of your life about issues with power and how you handle power and how you use or misuse power, right? But this is more, I don't want to go too far into like the birth chart. I'm just giving kind of synopsis. So when we look at your husband, and of course in this life, like for you, like North Node in the first house in Leo, it's like trying to learn to fully express yourself, trying to learn to have authentic self-expression where in past lives you maybe like didn't get to kind of define and figure out who you were. Individualization is like a key word, and Leo is all about that. Leo is about like the ability to like authentic, like in a very authentic way, express your inner child. Express the true essence. It's like that in Aquarius, right? That's the axis of like individualism, and they're different. They're opposite energies, but the same, right? And yeah, so that's kind of that. And learning knowledge, of course, like with the ninth house and third house, being like having lots of going on there. Those are huge places for you. Now, like it has to do Gemini and Sagittarius, of the lower mind and the higher mind. So it's a very focused chart. Now, with that said, Laura, what does that mean when you have all that fire? It means that you're missing everything else, like every other element. Yeah, you have, air for your Jupiter. Jupiter is kind of a middle planet, but lacking Earth, lacking water, so lacking any resemblance of besides, actually no, you have your Mercury. So your Mercury, the way you think, the way you communicate, is the only semblance of like female energy in your feminine energy in your chart. And you're trying to be your own star, basically. Someone who breaks past like tendencies of having to ask before they do, so right off the bat, the type of relationship that supports that is someone who lets you have space, who lets you kind of do your own thing, right? Who understands that you're probably, I know you work for the company, but still very entrepreneurial, go-getter energy, and who understands that there's this need for you to really go out in the world and individual and go through the individualization process, the trial and error, right? No longer are you to be held like as like Miss Thompson or Miss whatever, like that doesn't get to really know who she is. Like, maybe she was like the next Picasso, but because she like, stayed with that title or like didn't explore anything beyond that, never saw it. So then we look at Denis, right? Denis has the opposite north node as you. So when I explain south node, north node, and Leo, north node and Leo is like, it's about like going from we. So you're very good on the whole we thing, on teamwork and humanitarianism and the collective and friends and making sacrifices for like compromises and stuff. But for you, it's like going from we to me. But for him, it's from going from me to we. You see, it's opposite south and north nodes. It's very common with like soulmate, like karmic relationships, right? So, oh, I forgot one thing. With Denis, the fact that he's got the Scorpio moon, that's definitely going to provide, that the water, so when I see people who have, 1 second, who have like an abundance of one energy in their chart, I always think that they do a lot better with someone who is more balanced, who can kind of like fill in what they might not have. So Denis obviously having his Earth rising in Virgo, having his water moon in Scorpio at 0 degrees, which is a critical degree, but I'm not going to get into that because that's like birth chart material. Which if you guys ever want to get like 2 birth charts, I would definitely give you guys like a big discount if you guys were ever interested in like a package deal for birth charts. So he's got air. He's got his Venus and his sun and he's got Stellium and Libra, right? And then all we need is fire. And then he also has his Mars, and so lots of air actually. And then all we need is fire. And being a south node in Leo with a Jupiter there, it's enough, right? It's just enough. I mean, Jupiter, like I said, it's a middle planet. It's not really like having like a conscious part of us, but it kind of is, right? It changes signs once every year. So, but the fact that his south node is Leo, that basically that's enough. So what's really interesting here is that you have so much fire, right? And he has none, like no, like none of his big 6 are fire, right? So opposites attract, but then it's like, how opposite are you guys really? But that's just one first thing. I mean, that's like, and remember, I'm a zoomed out astrologer. I would prefer like my client, you guys in this case, to walk away with, I don't want to give a number, but like a number of really, really important things you took away, than like 100 like squabbled, like kind of confused, like too much, right? Because these readings can be too much. So this is like my style, right? So what does that mean in human terms? It means that Denis has a very balancing effect on Laura, and Laura has a very motivating effect on Denis, right? What Denis lacks, even though he has his south node there, Laura is able to plug in. And I realized that I haven't been showing my face, so I shall show my face. I wish that, and also you're very good with technology. If you know, wait for Zoom. I know my hair is under attack. I need a haircut very, very badly. And I'm still, sorry, Leo rising in me, just like I always want to know if my eyes are red from like allergies and stuff. But yeah, oh my God. You're not allowed to look at my hair. I'm just joking. It is a disaster, but whatever. It's the brain, not the hair, that matters to the astrologer. But anyways, okay, back to what I was saying before. So basically, with that, right? So we have two huge things so far. That who Laura has been in a past life, Denis is trying to become, and who Denis has been in a past life, Laura is trying to become. So Laura is like Denis has been maybe in his last incarnation, that fiery person, probably similar to how Laura is in this incarnation, the go-getter, the this and that. And it's not like he's not that dissimilar, because air is he's an air sign. he has air, and he does have a Scorpio moon, so that would create more of an introvert. But regardless, there's lots of been there, done that with the self-expression stuff. It's a lot easier for him, and the fact he has Jupiter there, even hidden in the 12th house, that Jupiter and Leo people have this grandiosity, not in a bad way. I don't know if there's a negative connotation of grandiosity, just this real swagger, this real like I'm here, this presence, and it makes them quite popular. They do have to watch out for like narcissism and or narcissistic kind of like attitudes, but usually it's like very benevolent, generous, fun-loving, enthusiastic, like very creative. So yeah, and it's linked to a south node. So it's once again, it's like another clue that that's who he's been. He's been that person. He's been that that tendency exists, right? So now Laura being a south node in Libra, right? Denis in this lifetime is trying to move away from a tendency of being being more like like the creator, the person. I don't want to say selfish, but like the Leo, the person that is able to do everything I just was talking about that you're trying to get towards, Laura. Like he's mastered that. He's trying to become better at making sacrifices for his lover, at being more relationship oriented, finding more balance, right? Because he's able to, he has that karmic ability to be able to be less and I'm crazy. I am seeing things wrong. I don't know why I keep saying Libra. It's Aquarius. Geez, Jesse. And I was saying Aquarius at the start, so I don't know why I started saying Libra. But what I mean is Aquarius. And so, Laura, but everything stays true what I said, because Laura, even if it's an Aquarius south node, it's on the descendant. So there is still that potential of of being too relationship oriented, but also of being someone who's really able, like in past lives, really someone who is easily able to be of service to other people, and to be humanitarian, and to give themselves and their time to their friends. While maybe Denis, maybe there's more difficulty in doing those types of things. A random example would be like the painter who or the creator who just doesn't who's very, very involved with what they're doing, and they don't want to make time for relationships or make time for other parts of life, right? So the fact when you have opposite nodes is basically that you guys are trying to teach each other. You guys are like learning, like as I said before, Laura's specialty is what Denis is what Denis is, the mountain that Denis has never climbed in past lives, and vice versa. So with North Node in Aquarius, which I also have this Denis, yeah, it goes away from me to we. And Denis in this lifetime is trying to be more of service. He's trying to take on a more collectivist and more caring about society and basically I don't want to say being less selfish, because I'm not implying that he's selfish, but you know, when you see life from an orientation of me or we, it's like literally like a change of consciousness where you start to see things from a different viewpoint, right? So that's huge. So you guys, like, just based on your karmic, like, natural abilities that like you don't even have to try it, you guys teach each other. Is that cool? That's like the step one, like the first very important thing. Now also, the fact that Denis's south node is conjunct Laura's ascendant, that is gonna, you know, tick off, that would have ticked off like an instant karmic reaction, especially the fact that that Laura, you know, not only is that the case, but also Jupiter and, or Denis's, excuse me, Jupiter and the south node are right on Laura's ascendant and north node. So this was probably just like an instant, like I guarantee you that you guys met and there was this like huge feeling of like, I know this person, like this is weird, like what the fuck, like I feel like I've known this person my whole life, but like I just met them, I know everything about them, and I know how they think, and like it feels like we've been together forever. What's going on, right? That's what happens. So yeah, that's kind of that. Now I really think that the part of about the elements is huge. Laura has taken on a life where she's really trying to focus on this one kind of type of energy, right? Fire energy, passion, self-starting, all the stuff I talked about before. So Denis, I feel like, is this support system in the sense that not like in the sense like of codependence, like he's just there to like support her and all that, and like she does everything that's good. It's like, no, he has his own dharma and his own, you know, very important things he does too. It's just that he has the missing elements, and the only element he doesn't have is the one that she has in abundance. So together, you guys have every element, right? But with that said, Laura, you have to watch out for that past life potential tendency of you know, of being a little bit codependent, which your present day chart points like completely away from that. There's not one that I've seen. I mean, like I said, this isn't a birth chart reading, but you know, there's not really one speck of it. But yeah, like you still have to watch out for that, just because being so fiery and having so much fire, like that fiery person can kind of burn out sometimes. And when they have a partner that kind of fills in a lot of the blanks, a lot of the elements they don't have, so that it's kind of like Laura's like, hey Denis, can you handle like this and this, so I can like really focus on this in this lifetime? And he's like, sure, yeah. That's kind of how it is. But you know, there can be like you have to watch out for like an over dependence on Denis, because like he has like more balance in his chart, right? And the fact that you lack Earth, Laura, has, you know, it's very important that you know, find ways to balance yourself out and to be grounded and stuff like that, you know, because that can be difficult for people like myself and you who lack Earth. So, but yeah, you'll be like such a pioneer. Okay, I get too birth charting sometimes. Okay, so with Denis, you know, it is and also, so let's go into like all the vertex and like that. Okay, so Denis, you know, what just happened? Okay, so Denis being a Libra, you know, it's you know, obviously a very relationship oriented sign. So she is going to be someone, and of course it's the same sign as you know, his wife's south node, and it falls in her 7th house. So you know, that right off the bat, and the fact that the sun falls in the 7th house, right, and the moon falls in the 8th house. I'm gonna share again, and I could do a dual wheel, but like where it overlays them, but it makes more sense like this than like, okay, so Okay, so this is then Dennis, right? So Dennis is sun at 25 Libra. Or no, I'm crazy. I have this problem with brightness with brightness, and it makes like all the earth and all the air look exactly the same. So I have to take back what I just said. No. Okay. Is there a way for me to like turn off f.lux for a little bit? I still don't see it. Whatever, regardless. Okay, so it actually falls like on the Pluto. Wow, and that's exactly what I have with my girlfriend. That's super interesting. And the IC, which rules the past. So it's another like indicator of a like a very karmic relationship. But the fact that Dennis has his sun falling on Laura's Pluto, which Pluto is the planet of death, rebirth, and transformation, basically means that Denis kickstarts this process, this extremely important karmic process for Laura, right? I can tell you, my girlfriend, her Pluto is exactly, her sun is exactly my Pluto. So it causes for very intense relationships. There can be some drama for sure, but it definitely moves. It's very based on moving on the couple moving towards a higher, better version of themselves, shedding snakeskin. Like I can give you an example from me and my girlfriend that's probably very relevant. Is like, when we first met, we were both partying a lot. We were both, going out. I wouldn't say reckless, but let's just say that like, I was still, successful with my astrology, and I was doing a master's. I just have this ability, I guess. I don't know. I still was getting everything, like still making everything happen, but like it wasn't good. But like since we've been together, like we both like chilled out a bunch, and we've it's not perfect in any way, but we've both like become more mature adults, which is, and I can't wait to see your guys' composite. I already took a little peek, but it's because our composite has like all Capricorn, the composite being like the chart that's the combined chart, the baby. It's like your two charts have a baby, and that's what the composite. But yeah, so it's like a chart or a combination that's life changing, and that Laura being the Pluto person, she's going to be the one who really is responsible for lots of Denises. I think I said that wrong. For lots of Denises, like death, rebirth, and transformation. That's what I meant to say, right? Because she's the Pluto person, so that's like the trigger. Now this is so beautiful. Sometimes like I'm not like romantic, but like I do love. I have 7,000 Venus in Mars. This is gorgeous, and maybe I should stay on this mode and show my face less, because you have to see this stuff. So Juno is the planet. Juno basically in a chart, I use it so fucking much. It represents what our ideal mate is like, right? So for Laura, it's 3 Scorpio, right? So her ideal mate is 3 degrees Scorpio. Not that, just wait. So 3 Scorpio. Where does that fall on Denis's chart? Right on his moon. So fucking beautiful. And it's basically saying that, that Scorpio moon, which can be so contentious, 0 degrees, right? It's like a very new energy, right? It can be difficult for a male in this world of toxic masculinity to have a Scorpio moon that can be so like up and down emotionally. Well, Laura actually, that's what she wants. She wants someone, because as a firecracker herself, she can handle any of that intensity, but her intensity is more of the fiery, active kind of physical type of intensity, right? And I'm trying to look, but like the thing about Laura's chart is that we can't forget that Pluto is opposing the sun and the moon and Venus and Mars. It's opposing everything basically, right? So Pluto is like the fact that's so beautiful is that like Pluto in Laura's chart is linked to the fact that her husband has a Scorpio moon, and that's shown by the fact that she's looking like her ideal mate, her soulmate is someone who can help her with this Plutonian, Pluto equals Scorpio, right? Process, right, with this opposition. And we'd have to kind of go more into like the birth chart zone to really dive into that, because I could spend way too long talking about that. But let's just say it has to do with diving into your own shadow, and that basically just by being a Scorpio moon, Denis, and being more in touch with his emotions, the darker parts of his emotions, and naturally being someone who goes through these death, rebirth, and transformations of his like on an emotional kind of more hidden level, that actually triggers this process, which is like so important. If I did a birth chart, I would talk nonstop about all these oppositions, and the fact that it opposes Mars, it opposes like Pluto, opposes Mars, Venus, Sun, Moon, midheaven, doesn't stop, and it's conjunct, the IC. So like it speaks about potentially a traumatic childhood that Laura may have had, right? And is it 1 second? Yeah, so I also have this, Laura. And my childhood wasn't easy. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It wasn't like horrible, but like Pluto on the IC, it talks about like a traumatic like childhood wounds for sure. And basically like you have this man who is in touch with his feminine side. I mean, Scorpio moons, and I kind of need to like I kind of need to look at Denis, just Denis. You see how I do this differently? Like I haven't even like jumped into like I do the inner aspects in my own way. I really love doing these readings so much. I think I'm a romantic at heart, even though I have issues with vulnerability. Okay, TMI. Okay, I just wanted to see like, okay, so yeah, he has a square Chiron. So yeah, Denis has lots of pain. He's got Chiron squaring every planet besides Mars, every inner planet. And what that indicates is someone who, where's the Chiron? He's a healer. He's a healer. I don't know what he does for a living, but he's a healer. But he has had to overcome a lot of fucking shit, and it's probably related to his family, either family or friends. 11th house Cancer. But man, that's tough. That's fucking rough. It's because he has you guys both have stelliums. And Denis' stellium is in Libra, and then a tiny bit in Scorpio with the moon. So it squares this. But it also squares the node. So but which one squares the node? Hold up. Is it just the moon, actually? Just the moon. I'm just gonna throw this out there that there might be issues karmically with Denis's mom, like, or whoever the least dominant parent is, which sometimes, like in my charts, it's my dad, is my moon. And that let me move this. That it's such a Plutonian relationship. So then when you wonder, okay, so where, like in a chart, there's the you wonder where do all of because Laura has so many planets in Aries, what house rules Aries in Denis's chart? The 8th house, the house of fucking Pluto and Scorpio. Like, you can't make this stuff up. Like, what does that mean in human talk? It means that her Aries energy, all of her life force, all of like that, every planet in Aries just goes straight into that. Like, it's like a two-way road of Plutonian transformation. So let's talk about Pluto. Pluto, it's the metaphor I give is like it's this dense ball of energy that's like the most like gold. It's like the most golden and most treasured thing, but you have to dig and dig and dig into your own personal underworld to get it. And a lot of times people and when you find it, you have your, it's like kind of like the North Node, but like a little darker in the sense that like it takes you going through your own darkness to get there. You guys both do like both. This is one of the most amazing fucking charts I've ever seen. And I know I'm a little Sagittarius, but like I'm super excited right now. Like that I'm seeing this. Like this is beautiful. This is like art, and science. Like astrology is art and science. But like the fact is that like Laura's primal energies that she just was born with pushes Denis into this death, rebirth, transformation. This snake shedding the skin. I'm gonna text you right now and just tell you that this is crazy. I know. I just need to tell you. Hey, so I'm like literally in the middle of your chart. So when you watch the recording, you're gonna see this. But like, I'm just telling you, this is fucking crazy. I don't want to sound cheesy, but like, I'm like getting so stoked, and this doesn't happen very much. Like, this is so insane, your guys' astrology. Like, this is so meant to be. It's so like, it's just beautiful. It's like once in a while, like I have charts like this that are blessings from God, and it's just like impossible that God doesn't exist. Not that I ever doubt it, but it's just like it's just pure perfection. And I'm so happy that you told me to do this because I needed this. I needed to see something so fucking perfect. So anyways, I'm probably like 30 minutes in. Time is flying. So yeah, you'll get this soon. So yeah, just letting you know. And I'll listen to those later. Oh, what just happened? Where did we go? Where did we go? Where did we go? Where did we go? Wow. So I hope I'm explaining this well enough. What is this? Okay, that's not like okay, I'm gonna close down your thing. Mark this unread. Okay. So let me just look at this a little bit longer. Okay, so we have this. I just need to like verify a few things with Venus. So okay, so very, very important. Denis has Venus square Saturn. So I don't know if you guys just met recently, the last few years, but you know, Venus square Saturn typically makes it so someone has a rather, you know, he has Venus in Libra, which is really a beautiful Libra placement because it enables him to have this like ability to see all of the positive, not like he sees the positive, he doesn't see the negative, right? Even though he has a Scorpio moon, which will make him it can make him cynical, but in terms of love and what he values relationships, right? Which is like so beautiful. But the fact that square Saturn would have pushed back his most important like soul, you know, because the Scorpio moon, it makes him really, really want, and I don't want to get too far into like the birth chart territory, but it makes him real like he desires the soul, two souls becoming one type, like this very, very deep romantic like life like changing relationship. That's what he wants, right? Oh, that's the concept. What are we doing? What are you doing, Jesse? What are you doing? What are you doing, my friend? Okay, so wow. So yeah, so it goes. It's a two-way street. So the nodes in Pluto are the two most karmic part things in all of astrology, right? In a personal chart or in this chart. So not only do your guys' nodes oppose each other, right? Which I talked about before. You guys both have, in one way or the other, a Plutonian effect. You guys are both pushing each other into your own personal Pluto, which you guys both have in similar spots in the third house. Now, Laura, hers is close to the IC, which would make her childhood have been probably more traumatic. You know, his Denis, yours is in the third house. I don't know if Denis is watching this, so that you know would speak more of like you know, maybe issues with siblings, issues with communication, a big need to find your voice in this life also, which you guys both kind of have that in common. I'm not gonna get into that. But basically, like the fact of the matter is, and I'll show it like here because you can see, where does all of this energy go in this chart? All of this, right? All this Aries, right? It goes right here in the 8th house, and it pushes. It does exactly the same thing that the fact that this sun, right, gets triggered, like the fact that the Pluto, so the Pluto is triggering, right, like Laura's Pluto. So Laura is having this extreme plutonic effect on Denis. And the age difference could really play, like there can be like implications here, because basically, like, Denis, he's going through so much evolution in this relationship, right? Because the sun and the moon's close by, and Denis. So this is a thing of Denis is a Scorpio moon, so this is like something that he has natally. Like even if you never met Laura, which obviously was very fated, as a Scorpio moon, he's going to have gone through these intense death, rebirth, and transformation, especially with the square of Chiron to all four of these planets. Like, he's someone who in this lifetime is meant to really heal himself in lots of ways. And I was talking about the before I forget, the fact that he has Venus square Saturn, that can create kind of like a more serious approach to relationships, but it's also like, once self-love is learned from Denis, it gives like a real ability just in general to have very long-lasting relationships. But it can make it so he doesn't have like the serious ones until like, after the Saturn return at like 29 and a half years old. But yeah, just the fact that the sun is that the Pluto and the sun connection is happening, right? And then that all of this is going here, and the Pluto is going here. It's basically just double trouble, in the sense that, like, Laura's chart is meant to kind of trigger Denis in some ways that are leading him to his highest potential and highest growth. So that's just the first thing. Now, other from the other way, right? And we'll get into Venus and Mars and all that stuff. I'll stop the share for a little bit. Where'd it go? So, being a Scorpio moon, right? As I said before, Denis doesn't necessarily like need, like, that push of Plutonian transformation comes from within, right? It comes from within. Now, I need to get a Synastry grid open too. So he naturally kind of goes through that, while Laura kind of needs the kind of the boot, I guess you could say, like the kick in the back a little bit, right? For those shifts. I'm trying to load. Why is it not loading the Synastry grid? No, okay. Synastry report. No, report. No, not report. Report. Synastry. Okay, there you go. So where's the grid? I don't know why it's not showing me this right now. This is really annoying. Usually just pops the right away. Okay, maybe if I swear it's been like Mercury retrograde for like 5 months for me in my world. Okay, I think, okay, yeah, here we go. Synastry. No, that's not interprets Synastry report. Okay, so Laura, that's this. Laura. What? Unable to delete old report file. Please ensure that you have freed this file by exiting from your word processor. Oh, I see. That's very bizarre. Why is it loading this like Word document? That's not what I want. So I think it's. Sorry about this. Oh, Synastry good. Duh, found it. Okay, perfect. So Laura, Denis. Okay. So maybe I'll move this one to the next page, the next tab. So I have that there. And then I'll move this over here. Okay. I'll do Synastry. Okay, where do we go? Where are the two charts? So we'll add this in the inner aspects after. I need to do the composite. Like I really like for me the composite is everything. You know, it's the energy of the relationship. It's like the buildup. I feel the buildup for it. But okay, give me the dual wheels again. So okay, let's look at this really quickly. So okay, so from this side, actually, let's add, let's make this into a bi-wheel. Okay, so okay, so I can actually present this part. Share screen. Maybe I'm sharing the screen because I'm like insecure about my hair right now. Sounds like very weird. Like it's a Leo rising thing to like be like very ashamed when you need to get a haircut for the past like month or more. Whatever, who cares? Just I pretend I don't care. Okay, so this is okay. Like so now we're looking at like what falls on what. So obviously ascendant falling on Jupiter. Like you guys would have had this very jovial like first meeting. It's 12th house, so it's based on past life karma. It's just so fucking obvious. Like duh. And you guys maybe even like I don't know how spiritual you guys are, but you guys maybe at least you, Laura, if you believe in reincarnation. I don't know, about Denis, and if he's French, s'il est français, il n'y a pas beaucoup de Français qui croient en ça. I don't know if you guys speak French. I know Denis does, but je suis français, je suis breton. Moitié breton. Tout breton. Mon père, il habite à Montpellier, au sud, dans les Roldes, à côté de Montpellier, Marseille-en-Plage. Okay, wait, I was going to speak French. So yeah, that like could have been like literally like could have been like that first meeting. Like if you do schedule a follow-up, which by the way, if you do a follow-up, I will give you a $20 reduction. You just have to remind me. There's a special code that I can give you that you can type. You'll just have to remind me. I highly recommend it. It's always like very good to cement the information. And that's like around an hour long live, us talking, chatting, going over everything. But there's no pressure, obviously. So like, and I would honestly think if you're gonna do anything, it'd be to get birth chart readings, because that's like, I love doing this so much, but birth chart readings is like my gift. It's like literally like my gift. I consider myself. Okay, just come on, Leo boy, chill out. So let's see, where some of the other plants fall. So okay, so the outside is Laura. So we see that his second house, and this is the chart of Denis. So basically, like Denis has lots going on in the second house. Very, very good for money. Also good for self-esteem. And we see that obviously I talked about the Pluto, how it's a very Plutonian relationship, because her Pluto is pushing not only his sun, but his sun, Mercury, and Venus. So what happens with those is that all three of those functions, so the communication function, so she has this very powerful effect on him where she gets him to find his voice more, to be more confident in his conviction, right? To trust himself more, to trust his thought process more. And then the most beautiful part, besides the sun, the Venus one, that just speaks to like a very intense like soul binding, like that is like the most beautiful energy, right? It's just like Pluto like conjunct Venus synastry is like soulmate shit. Like literally, I'm not joking. If I maybe I'll make a post tomorrow of like top 10, like 10 indicators of like soulmate, and you guys would have so many of them. Like literally, like Pluto conjuncting the Venus or conjuncting the Sun, you have both. So like Laura is a like more than a motivating force. She's like a karmic like just someone who's really meant to make things move. Then we see Juno on the moon, as I said before. The Scorpio moon, which like some people can't handle that Scorpio moon that Denis has. Like water moons are difficult, and Laura, even though she doesn't have any water besides her Mercury, which actually helps a lot because it's communication, she really honors and loves this depth that her husband has. And even if the Scorpio moon can have quite changeable moods, and it can require honestly like a lot of healing. It can be quite vindictive. There's lots. I'm not going to go into the whole birth chart stuff, but like basically it makes her super attracted to that part of him that might otherwise, I don't want to say not be attractive, but like not that many fucking people are looking at the Scorpio moon and be like, oh, and it's the hidden part, so it's like the really raw, okay, this is it, the really raw and not always positive and just like say it how it is, that part. And like I said, I can talk way more about a Scorpio moon, but like that's why I do encourage people to get natal chart readings before like anything besides astrocartography, but I still let it slide. But like basically like she like that's like what you're attracted to, the Scorpio energy, that depth, because it leads you to your plutonic transformation, right? And that's why it's a two-way road. So you obviously with all your 8th house over here, it falls into his 8th house, right? Which like makes it like forces that death, rebirth, and transformation. It's a very, very intense relationship. That's what I'm getting so far. Very, very fucking intense. And I have a feeling we're going to see some fun when we look at the aspects and we look at the composite. But very, very intense, right? But with that intensity, right? There's okay. So this is how it works for the fact that she's so attracted to a Scorpio moon makes it so she starts to kind of lean in more towards his Scorpio moon and starts to kind of like not act like it, but starts to kind of like associate with that energy and get to know that energy better. So then, wow, Neptune on the IC. That's with vertex. Usually there's okay, so no real vertex connections, but basically like Neptune on the IC. That's basically saying, in my eyes, that's like a from past lives, like shared visions, like maybe you guys like were like an artistic duo, or like, and also it has it speaks a lot about the home life, right? Because it makes you guys really want to have like a home life where creativity and imagination is featured, and maybe like not design, but like where you're able to like express your empathy and your compassion and all that stuff. Okay, so vertex is very important because in relationship astrology, because it represents like kind of like our second ascendant. So even though and where is the ascendant fall here? Wait, hold on. So even though okay, wow. So okay, even though Laura is a Leo rising, this confuses me sometimes. Her vertex. So okay. So this is cool. So her vertex is in Sagittarius. So she's and her rising is Leo. So but vertex is kind of like your ascendant in relationships. So it's gonna make her come off very like adventurous, very like philosophical, very like I want to learn, and I want to do it like in like you guys like there's definitely this home life, like this home life this like of like potentially like wanting to like learn different philosophies, traveling together. So very active, very fun. That's kind of like the energy she puts on like in her normal life with the Leo rising, and with her in her relationship. Descendant in in Aquarius. One second. I'm thinking. Yeah. Okay. I was like, did I screw something up? that was the face I just made. It's like, did I screw something up? No. So the fact that her descendant is conjunct her south node, which I already talked about south node, conjunct descendant can have like the issues of potentially like being too relationship oriented in past lives. The fact that it's in Aquarius, it speaks to a desire for wanting someone for their mind, and that also goes along with other parts of the it goes along really well with the Mars and Gemini and all this air energy, right? So basically you're attracted to air energy, right? Because the descendant is like what you're attracted to, what Juno is like what you're looking for in a marriage partner. The descendant is like what you look for in other, right? And of course it's like right on his north node. And it is trining his Mars in midheaven. And it's also elementally trining his sun and Mercury and Venus. So it's like the descendant in Aquarius, you like air, you like to have the intellectual lore, you like to have the intellectual connection with the partner. And in this situation, you have someone that you can definitely have that with because they have a lot of air. So you would not do well with someone that lacked air in their chart, because like that's what you like. And yourself lacking air in your chart. By the way, one key thing that can really help with people who lack air, I say this every time, is doing breath work. Breath work is really like it can be really huge. But what I'm getting at is that I think that Denis helps you. He helps you get like see different perspectives, basically. And he helps you and there's a need with a descendant here, and this is a shared need you guys both have, because he has it with his Mars in Gemini and with his Venus in Libra, is that there's a need to be best friends and to have an intellectual air connection, and that is super 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 important. Now moving forward, we see the Mercury. So this is another beautiful thing. And I guess I could say this for when I flip flop these two. But basically, the Mercury, Laura's Mercury in Pisces, which is the most, this very empathetic, like very, very almost like psychic. It's a part of you that it's probably we have the same Mercury. So that's like why you're able to understand me very well, most likely, right? Like my Mercury is 28 Pisces, yours is 25 Pisces. And it's very, very spiritual. It makes you like if you didn't have this, if your Mercury was also in Aries, like I don't know how into astrology you would be, right? Like the craziest Aries, like so like too much Aries, right? So this really saves you, and because it's the only planet like of the big six that's not in fire. It's not like a singleton, but it does perform in a way that I would say makes it very significant. Even though your chart ruler is the sun, and basically his descendant is conjunct once again another conjunct his descendant. So like what he looks for is Pisces, is water, but it's right on your Mercury. So your way of thinking, your way of communicating, that very spiritual part of you, right? It's a very empathetic, that speaks, like it adds a lot of sweetness to this very Aries person, right? That is literally what's like what he's attracted to. So it speaks further to this connection of minds being so important. So we talked about all this. Like this is just like all the moon, the midheaven, the sun, the Venus, the Mars. all these super important planets, all in Aries, all together, go into his 8th house and push him, also, like, shared resources could be something that is very beneficial for both of you. In this case, it would be, Denis especially. But yeah. So yeah, that's kind of that. And then we flip them around. No. Okay, we go bi-wheel. Okay, so now it's gonna be flip-flopped. Okay, so now we have the opposite. We have Laura on the inside, and we get to see like how Denis, how his plans go over hers, right? So we talked about and a lot of this stuff has already been covered, right? Like the Jupiter, going over the ascendant, and just like how amazing of a, like basically like you guys, like regardless of how long you've been together, you date, there's still this very expansive energy, like this energy where like Laura, you guys both feel it. It's like maybe like Denis like potentially teaches Laura things, but it's like Laura expands, right? So we talked a lot about what Laura does for Denis, right? But Laura like the Jupiter, like Denis's Jupiter on Laura's ascendant is so fucking amazing for her self-confidence. It's so amazing, even for her beauty, even for her physical health, like and sense of identity. It just like is literally the best fucking thing. Like it's like the and also luck. It makes her lucky, like physically lucky. You see that? Like it's crazy. And it's linked to her nodes. So it also takes that exact same energy, that benefic energy, and pushes it towards her having a higher success rate chance of getting to that mountain never climbed, the past lives, the North Node. It's if we get a follow-up, regardless, it's up to you guys. Like, make sure. Oh yeah, one other thing, if we do get a follow-up, like most people have to watch these like multiple times, like make sure to take notes. Like I'd say 90-95% of my clients get follow-ups. Even if they don't initially, they end up like seeing the reading and they're like, okay, we definitely have to speak live. Make sure you take notes, because I will forget everything. I mean, I'll remember when I see it, but like I just kind of like black out when I do these readings, which is kind of trippy to think about, that I'm like blacked out right now. Yeah, but okay, so ascendant falling in the 2nd house. I'd say that's very good for self-esteem also. So I'm seeing lots of like in money, so that's very good for money. For Denis potentially helping with finances, with Laura helping her boost her self-esteem and her ability to kind of earn. But really, where Denis's energy goes, a lot is in that 3rd house, in Laura's 3rd house. So it's really interesting, because it's like Laura's 3rd house is very, very hectic. There's lots of really difficult planets there, and the 3rd house has to do with communication, the lower mind, kind of like the early not necessarily early childhood, yeah, kind of early childhood, like the school years. 4th house is really like overall childhood, but like it's siblings, and just like I think of like throat chakra. So there's some really dark energies there. Black and Lilith, Saturn, Pluto. Yeah, you do have Jupiter, but it's kind of like overwhelmed by all these other ones. Well, look at these: Venus, Sun in Libra, like Mercury. Like basically, Denis is able to give Laura a stronger voice and help her with some of the issues related to her to her throat chakra, or to like being able, that she's come in this life to try to heal with all that Aries energy of having her own voice, and being able to speak up for herself. So very interesting. And like I already talked about, like it goes both ways, right? That his Venus conjunct her Pluto, like, you know, he still feels that. You know, Denis, you still you know, it's not like it just goes one way. It's like it's a very intense, life-changing relationship. Where, you know, Denis goes through this rapid evolution in terms of self-love, in terms of intellectual ability, and intensive in terms of just his overall self. So yeah, we talked about a lot of these. You know, the fact that his moon is on her Juno. We talked about, like, you know, his Scorpio moon being like this intense part, and I believe that, you know, she's really able to hold him down in a lot of ways. Let's see if there's any squares fixed, because, you know, the thing, there's not many aspects because a lot of the energy is over here. But, you know, with that said, there is this opposition, right? Like basically like the 22, 23, for the most part, her moon opposes his sun, but we'll get into that later when we look at the synastry. Okay, wait, where'd my face go? Okay, I'm down here. So that is that. Okay, so, you know, his Pluto falling in her fourth, so that's like, you know, helping her, you know, deal with some of her childhood issues, and helping her heal in those most important of ways. Okay, we talked about that. No, his Juno is in Sagittarius, which is in the same sign as her vertex. So he's gonna be, you know, like he's gonna be very attracted to that vertex, to that very adventurous part of her, that very fiery, adventurous part, because he lacks the fire in his chart, you know. And the fact that his IC is loosely conjunct the vertex, we talked about that already. Okay. Vertexes and Pisces. Okay, so then this, okay. So, you know, then of course this is like just the most beautiful thing, the fact that his, you know, his north node, like where he's like, oh, is there a cat and everything? I'm sorry, Yasmin, I didn't see you. Seventh house is the house of marriage. So this is the destiny mark, destined for marriage. Literally, like, how else can I fucking say it? Like north node falling in the partner's seventh house, you're destined for marriage. Vertex in the eighth house, that's also very romantic, with the descendant close by. Talked about that, but this is like literally saying that, like, he presents himself in the relationship, like his like ascendant in the relationship is one of more emotional, more spiritual, more like very, very compassionate, patient, stuff of that nature. So yeah, Mars. So first of all, just the fact that he has Mars conjunct midheaven, not the end of birth chart territory, is making someone very, very ambitious career wise, and also like having the ability to like have two different careers. I just want in Gemini, but in this context, it's making, you know, it would make it so he has a very boosting effect on her overall like big life goals, but also on her friendships, and kind of getting her to be more social and make more friends and stuff like that. Okay. So yeah, we talked about like about the Chiron, and how it's, you know, it's also squaring a lot of her planets. So there's definitely some pain that comes from this relationship, but that'll be more in a different section. Okay, let's fucking see this composite. All right. I already have it. All right, so I actually should. Can I get? No, just dual wheels. It's annoying. I want to be able to see. No. I want to be able to see. Let's see if I can do this. I wish I could see like both charts, one, and then the composite. But maybe I can figure it out my own way. Okay. Okay, so if I minimize this, okay. I think I can do this. Cool. Maybe if it doesn't maximize like there. And then, okay. Wait, why is it doing this? Okay. Nope, it's only letting me see one chart at a time. Okay, whatever. Solar Fire, fix that, please. Not that you're listening. Okay, well, we'll have the charts saved in my brain. Or I could screenshot them. Yeah, that's a better idea. Let's do that. Okay. Okay. So I'm gonna show my face a little bit because you gotta see me still sometimes. Computer's being so laggy. Okay, so this is important. Like I need to be able to like swing back and forth between the two. Okay, where's screenshots? Here we are. Okay. Sort date. Okay, here we go. And can you open? Yes, there we are. Okay, and now we open this up. And here we are, the composite. Interesting. So right off the bat, I had my intuition of what it would be like, to have Leo rising in a composite, right? It's the same rising is it's very close to Laura's rising. So basically it's a fun relationship. You guys as an entity are kind of there's a real purpose to it, right? And it makes and it's very fun. So it's about like being able to like have fun together and inner child and really what 15 degrees is where that north node was, right? Of it's very close to Laura's north node. So right off the bat, we got something there. Now, oh wait, no, wait. What the heck? No, the ascendant. Why is it not in fixed sign? This is so weird. No, fixed signs. What the heck? What did it just do? Why is it not giving me whole signs? I mean, okay, there. That's no. This is really weird. It's like breaking the signs up into 15. Why is it doing this? Okay. No. Laura V, Laura Husband Dennis, composite midpoints. Don't give me this 15. Why is it giving me this 15? I don't understand why it's 15. Well, the ascendant is Virgo. So you're still going to have to look at this in a different way. I don't understand why it's doing this. Why is it starting at 15? I don't get it. I don't know. Like I don't know why my solar fire is doing this. We're still going to be able to analyze it. So okay, so first house is 1 second. I'm gonna pause because this is really annoying me. Okay, I figured it out in 2 seconds. So let's share that. Okay, so here is the composite. So it's actually Virgo rising. Now that's actually showing me. You know, a Mercury ruled, which is, you know, about communication, about you know, like consistency. A Mercury ruled composite makes, you know, communication very, very important in the relationship, right? Now the question is, where is Mercury? Well, Mercury is, interestingly enough, it's down here. This chart. Wait, no. It's literally just showing me Denis's chart. What the heck? I have to pause again. I thought I had to figure it out, but I did not. This is like a very, very odd problem I've never had before. Oh my God, can you be slower, you Dell XPS? All right, well, we're just gonna have to deal with the fact that my computer is being very weird, my software is being weird, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that I can still see everything. So composite ascendant is Virgo. It's 1 degree Virgo. You know, making it so the relationship is you know, a big part of it is based on communication. You know, where does 1 Virgo fall in each of your charts? You know, here it's 2nd house, here it's 1st house. So it's very, you know, there's definitely like a big self-developmental piece to the relationship. And communication plays a massive role. Now, the fact that, and we have to be, okay, this is, you know, because this isn't pulled up right, this is 1st, 2nd, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7 is, so this is 7. 7 is like here. Is Pisces. Okay. So the sun and the moon. So okay, this is another indication, just like I was telling you about me and my girlfriend, of a very karmic relationship, because the sun and the moon both fall in Capricorn. The Saturn ruled the Saturn ruled sign. Relationships that are ruled so this adds like a very Saturnian, which means that it's able to last over the long term. And we have a ton of Capricorn planets. So it was written in the stars, it's meant to be, but there can also be like a level of you know, but the really good thing about it is that it's 5th house Capricorn. So 5th house is Leo, and basically what that does is that it makes it so yeah, there's like a sense of seriousness, and I think you guys both make each other more responsible throughout the relationship, but also there's a real sense of like of being able to be creative and have fun and do and be your inner kind of child self. And that's like the main like nearly all like a large part of all of everything is falling there, including the ruling planet in Capricorn. So let's pull up this. So also, you guys, like on an emotional level, like the moon in Capricorn, right, 29 degrees, is showing that you guys are at like a final stage of your guys' like karmic relationship on an emotional level, but that there's a lot of darkness because it squares Pluto. There's a lot of darkness that you guys have to get past on that level, right? The moon squares Pluto in this composite. And that's the only difficult aspect I see. The only difficult aspect is this moon square Pluto, which I wrote about tonight in my post, and it can be very. By the way, shit, I need to check one thing. Sorry, I'll talk while I'm checking. But basically, it can be difficult. It can make like themes that can come up, themes around power. it's very transformative, and it's one of those things that like you look back on it and it's a blessing, but like in kind of the meantime, like there can be very, very intense periods of time. And Pluto is conjunct the North Node. That's the most massive, like another incredibly huge thing showing that this is a karmic relationship. It is conjunct the North Node in Scorpio, literally pointing to the fact that you guys are both here. This is a Plutonian/Saturnian relationship. So remember that, Plutonian/Saturnian. Saturnian means that it's very karmic, and that on some level it's based on, like, it might not always be the most fun relationship. Not that you guys don't have fun, but it might not always be the most fun, but it stands the test of time, and it gets better with age. So the longer you guys have been together, let me just check something really quick. I did like an Instagram ad, and I was like, shit, like I didn't want to like spend too much money on it, because you let those things go, and just spend and spend and spend and spend, and then before you know it, you're like, I have no more money left. Just hold up one quick second, my friends. So I just need to calculate something. 3087, 2087, 87 plus 5. Okay. 92. Okay, perfect. Very good, very good, very good, very good. So yeah, basically that's kind of like what I see. Like this right here is like the most, like that. It's not always easy. It gets easier as time. It's in the third house. This Pluto, so this is like a massive part, and it's third house is communication, aka it's Gemini, but it's still linked to Virgo because it's Mercury. So you guys, like a big thing for you, and we'll see like in the aspects and how long have been going. Oh shit, I didn't start my clock, so I probably like missed like 10-15 minutes. But basically, like learning to communicate the kind of darker aspects is one of the keys to the relationship. Like it's straight up, it's a fact. Now the fact that Saturn is conjunct the IC and Black Moon Lilith is saying, and this is why I had this in my head. I didn't say it, but basically it's actually kind of similar to my relationship. Not this part, but the Capricorn part. And if you look down here, you see how it's like all earth and no air. But basically, like you guys will definitely have like a super, super, super grounding influence on each other. And being that earth, isn't an element that you guys as individuals have in abundance. Earth representing consistency, balance, responsibility, maturity, showing up, in your job and in your career. Those are all going to be in not just in your career, like in your life mission. So what I feel with my girlfriend is that there's an actual correlation. This is, and I don't like to talk about my own life. I just like give it when it's convenient, when it makes a good example. Like there's like a correlation that when I'm in a relationship with her, and she's not like telling me like, go Jesse, go, like work. But I'm way more successful. Like I wrote my entire book, which like is crazy. I wrote a book during my Saturn return, like I wrote all of it. It took me like so freaking long. She like basically like I accomplished more when I'm in a relationship with her than I do otherwise, even though she doesn't have any effect on me. And it's same for her, even though she's way younger than me, she's just kind of starting in life. She's like grown up a lot. So you guys help each other grow up a lot. But then there's also this karmic imbalance, and there's lots of like there is lots of darkness from the past. I have to say, I'm sure you guys are aware of it. And part of your guys' the purpose of you guys being together, there is this attraction, is that very thing, right? Of being able to right the wrongs of yesterday. And that's even proven even further by the fact that South Node, the past, is in Taurus conjunct Mars. That's a loose conjunction. But basically, there's been fighting between you two in past lives. And I'm not like saying this to like fighting, like fighting, but there's been like difficulty. So okay. So there's no Libra there. 7. Okay. So I'm gonna stop share. So what else do I maybe see? Yeah. So just like the Pluto conjunct the North Node, it's just all about just the shadow work you guys are doing together. I don't know. There's not really many other ways to say it. But then Jupiter being in the first house, conjunct the ascendant, that is beautiful, and that is like giving you guys this real, and it's shown in not just in the composite, in different chart, it's shown like in your synastry too, and also like the fact that Neptune's conjunct the fact that Venus conjunct the Sun also like in the composite is beautiful. That's like meant to be like a romantic relationship. It's just that there's lots of like with Capricorn, it's about like about liquefying crystallized emotional patterns, right? Liquefying crystallized like karmic patterns between you two. And breaking patterns that maybe have gone from past to the past life. But the Jupiter energy there, in Virgo, you guys are like make a great team. You guys are really able to like expand each other, and your guys' combined personality is one that people really love being around, basically. And you can really you guys could like inspire other people when you guys become a unit. But like a lot of this other energy in the chart is very secretive. It's very private. I think you guys are probably a pretty private couple in the sense that I don't think you guys, it's not that you guys never do things with other people. It's just unless you have best friends, you tell all the details. Like the things that happen in your relationship are very, very private. That's what Scorpio does. That's what Capricorn does. So yeah. Okay. So I can, yeah. So where did that Synastry grid go? Okay, I have to go here, view. So I talked about a lot of the stuff. So now I'm just looking more for oppositions. So the fact that you guys have a moon like your guys' moons oppose each other. It's opposites attract, right? So there can definitely be emotional tensions that arise because of misunderstandings. But so yeah, it's really important to resolve any of the emotional problems than leave things to kind of be. But an opposition is literally the same energy but the opposite. It's like one energy but the opposite type. So there can be this real back and forth energy where you move forward and then you go backwards, right? But then also because there's a connection between the moons, you guys might seek emotional satisfaction in very different ways, essentially, right? So it's about balancing out the Aries and Libra archetypes within you. And for that, it's like too far Libra is codependency. I can't do anything without the person. Too far Aries is I don't want to do anything with the person. I want to be my own person. I want to do me. So it's finding the balance between that, right? But on a positive side, it enables both of you to develop a better understanding of each other. But there's just lots of compassion and an understanding approach that's needed, right? So yeah. and a lot of times like there are oppositions like in charts of like of people you know of people who are married, right? Can't be all like conjunctions and stuff. So we talked about, you know, the moon conjunct Pluto, intense and powerful relationship. Like there's also just like there's this very sexual attraction, which could be very, very powerful. And just kind of the life changingness of the relationship. I talked about that. And then also, you know, Denis's sun opposite Laura's moon, right? It's still that Libra opposite the Aries, and it's kind of a similar thing, opposites attract, right? You know, there's that instant spark that happens when you guys, you know, met, and like it kind of creates an energy where like everything just seems more exciting when you're together, right? And like there's like it's almost like there's this feeling of filling a void within each other, like they exist within each other, from this combination, right? But like your chart is totally the chart of one that's like difficult at the start and it just gets way easier over time. And that's kind of what I've experienced with my I think it's the synchronicity that like we have similar conflict charts, but like once you like get past like the initial issues, it gets a lot easier, right? And I think I'm bit in the head by a bug. Besides that, like what can I say about that? It's basically like the success relationship. Like it's all about communication, accepting the other person's differences, right? But because they're opposites, like I said, it's not that hard. Maybe there's some space that's needed from time to time, but yeah, it's you know, we need some oppositions and squares. And then you know, the beautiful sextile between Laura's Neptune and Denis's Sun, and that's just all about romance and just like being able to kind of have like this dreaminess and romantic kind of energy in the relationship. Also, like where like creativity and imagination like end up playing like a huge role. And also, what's really beautiful about that is it really enables you guys to have like compassion for each other. So yeah. 1 second. Yeah, the Pluto thing we talked about with the sun and the moon, it's more the sun. You know, it's a life-changing relationship, like the powerful attraction. And yeah, like I think I've gone into kind of what the Plutonian energy is. Power and wealth also is something that can definitely come from your guys' relationship. I definitely see that with all the Capricorn, which is the sign of money, you know, in the composite. It's just like the question that I would have is like, one, how do you guys communicate when there's disputes? Two, how do you keep things fun? And with the Capricorn in the 5th house, I might have the idea that you guys maybe like work together, or maybe you guys like start a business together or something like that, right? Now there's one thing I need to look at. I need to go back to because yeah, you guys also have like Venus opposite Venus and Mars sextile Venus, and then Mars opposite Venus. So yeah, basically Laura, you know, because of all that Aries energy, it opposes the Venus and Mars, or excuse me, Mercury, not Venus, the Libra energy. So I mean, you don't even really have to look at like the specifics of like what planet. It basically just means that like there's a big karmic opposition, a big need to learn to balance out like the Aries and the Libra, you know, to be able to do things like alone, but also to not be so like basically to watch out for codependency, but watch out for like the opposite of codependency, kind of that, right? So yeah, moon. So moon has a lot. So Laura is the moon, okay, opposite sun. So yeah, it's basically just like all of Laura's Aries energy kind of gets like balanced out, and there's just a real need for compromise, which what can happen, you have to watch out for, because Aries is such a way more dominant energy than Libra, is for Laura's energy not to dominate Denis's energy. That's like one warning also. And to really like for compromise to really happen. And then, you know, the moon the other way for yeah, okay. So where was I? So now let's talk Mercury. And also I want to say also, like, with this Pluto energy and with this Capricorn energy, that's like super loyal. Like, so I imagine that like loyalty and like a serious approach to the relationship is one that's had. Like, you know, maybe like something like stops you guys from like different like self-sabotaging tendencies. But then there's a need to have fun, and maybe like to spend time away from each other from time to time, and to experience different energies. Because what happens in the relationship is that like when we're like when you're with that person, you're in that composite chart, you know. So it's important to get out of it and feel feel to miss the person. So yeah, Denis opposite, Denis Mercury opposite Laura's moon. Yeah, that can definitely cause lots of arguments. And yeah, basically, you know, Mercury, how Denis communicates is at odds with you know, Laura's Aries moon. It's not it's so repeated in this that I don't like want to like have to like talk about the fact that it's the Libra and Aries part of it again. But basically, like you know, just like finding that balance, finding out non-violent ways of communicating. Like, I hope that, you know, a high and like low Aries moon is like a bully, and like just like boom, it like acts out. And what can happen is the Libra person can like want to like people please and want to like do things just to please, to make sure that there's no conflict. So there has to be very like calm communication. And then yeah, Neptune again. So Neptune is like actually very beautiful. You guys, is like synastry. Laura Denis's Mercury sextile Laura's Neptune. You know, it's basically like creating this real like imagination and romance with your guys' communication. You guys might have like very creative ideas together. Where you know, maybe working on like creative projects together, and it actually can add like an easier flow to communication. And like what I would say is like an empathetic, in such a close, it's like only 1 degree away, like an empathetic bond where you can kind of, that can really help out with what I was talking about before. And then the closest one is Dennis' Mercury conjunct Laura's Pluto, which I did talk about that. And you know, and that was the one in Pisces. And that it just furthers this intense relationship, you know, where communication is a key role. And it's vital to have honest communication, like keeping all emotions and thoughts out in the open. And it's important to keep the relationship like dynamic, like where you're able to like express anger, express like the reality of what's going on, how you're feeling, in a non-volcanic, like violent way, right? But like you'll have like very passionate discussions, and you guys there might be arguments, but there's a book called Nonviolent Communication. I think every couple should read, because it's the best, and it teaches like strategies that we were never taught at school that we should have definitely been taught. But all in all, it's amazing for like spiritual and personal growth. And like a lot of times, like this is like the dream combination of like a therapist and like the client. So maybe they're like there's like this kind of like healing relation, like energy, kind of like that. Okay, so some very important ones, Laura. Let's look at the more close one. So yeah, the conjunction of Denis's Venus conjunct Pluto, or Laura's Pluto. Just once again, like I talked about that, like intense emotions being like central to the relationship. It once again talks about like the passionate Plutonic, like Plutonic is like obsession, right? So there's lots of this obsessive energy, right? Like a need to be together, sexual magnetism, right? This is a very sexy like a conjunction. Like, and even through like difficult times, you know, you're able to make it through it, and that also comes from the Capricorn. And definitely potential for like sharing like a creative or artistic pursuits, and like very intense emotions, and maybe like there's like these like back and forth of love hate relation, like emotions, like not emotions, but just like lots of like intensity. Like it's not like just your boring relationship. Okay, then there's more Neptune, so that's like more of this like romantic energy, which I keep seeing Neptune popping up in very nice areas with sextiles, because of where all you know, Laura's Aries is. It's like it's sextiling Neptune, which is just so perfect, and it adds just a lot of sweetness to what can otherwise be quite intense. So very cool. All right. More of that, that Libra Venus opposite Sun and Aries. It's like values, you know, like just like the need to have like this shared value of harmony and fairness in the relationship, and how important that is. But one thing that, like Laura has to watch out for Denis, like feeling like potentially like losing, like feeling like he's losing his identity within the relationship, and feeling like overwhelmed by like Laura's powerful personality and unable to like really like move forward. That's one thing, like kind of a warning sign. So yeah. What can happen also with Denis's Venus opposite the moon, I think that's the last one of like all these. Actually, no, there's still the Mars. Is that there can be issues with expressing emotions, like friction when it comes to like when you're really like trying to express feelings. What like one person can feel misunderstood by the other, and yeah, just like there's it once again speaks to the need to have this like communication, to have this ability to kind of like yeah. So then with Mars, you guys do have a nice Mars sextile Mars, which is very, very good for like sex. And it kind of creates like a healthy competition, like a push in the back with each other. It could be like a healthy rivalry, like in work, something like that. Mars sextile Venus, this is a nice one. So now we have some nice ones, right? Which is like an ideal one for sexual attraction, compatibility. Mars being the you know, just like Laura's Mars sextile, or Denis's Mars sextile Laura's Venus. So yeah, it's just very, very good for like pleasureful trips, romantic outings, like anything artistic, all that stuff. And then of course there's another. So yeah, the Mars is very, very good. The Mars, the sextile Sun now. And this is Mars sextile the Sun, and you know that could be like a real sexual spark in the relationship. You know, never a dull moment kind of energy, and yeah, lots of energy. So it just adds like a level of like wanting to tackle life's challenges, like have like both of you guys like giving each other confidence. Okay. Oh wow, you guys, Dennis, you guys had like a Jupiter trine Venus. I didn't see that. So that's like very, very good. Like that is just like it makes like both people feel like they light each other up. And it's very good for luck, very good for money, very good for higher learning, traveling to foreign lands, like kind of expanding your horizons together. Okay. So, okay, that was not important. Then North Node, we talked about the Jupiter conjunct North Node, how it's like meant to be, and that there's like a, you know, Dennis has like a very, very positive effect on Laura achieving her North Node energy, her like destiny points. All right, and then you know the energy with the ascendant is very, very good for like personal attraction, being attracted to each other's personalities. Okay. Let's see what else. And then there's Saturn square Sun, which is like perfect. You think that's difficult, but it's like the way I think of it, like you need to have some Saturn involved for a marriage. It's like what ties things together. So the Saturn square the Sun basically like would mean that you guys would have had been very, very tested at the start, but like once like it just gets way better with time, and once you know like anything meaningful has Saturn in it, right? um and it adds that component of like the serious relationship, but there's like lots of karmic tests that had to be overcome, right? So yeah, lots of tests, but you know it seems like you guys have passed them, and it just gets better and better and easier with age, the more you get to know each other and understand each other's needs. um and yeah, it's the same thing with you know with Dennis's Saturn to Laura's Sun to Venus, um to Mars, um to Pluto, and to Chiron. So it's like there's so much Chiron, so much Saturn, um and it's just the ingredient for a committed relationship, you know. And like what are some other keywords like yeah, commitment, long-term association, like responsibility, like really like seeing that person as the person you can spend the rest of your life with, and that you can count on like when it comes to kids and stuff like that. Someone, you know, you guys both have the same values when it comes to taking the relationship seriously. um yeah, let's see. Now there's one really difficult one, and that's the Dennis's Saturn square the Mars, that one. So there is this commitment, but I imagine there's lots of like, or there is lots of like fights potentially. And you know this is all also, you have to, you know, astrology is also about like free will and maturity. So like but there can be some misunderstandings. Like ancient astrologers, like, you know, always like when you talk about Mars and Saturn, there's usually harmful effects. um so like some people that have this can like have like physical damage to each other, or you know, emotional, or like even physical. um and it can be like both people, like if they're not that advanced, like forcing their own egos on each other. I'll be right back, by the way, after I'll 1 second. So it's like, you know, knowing that like Laura is going to be the way more masculine person. I wonder if I can walk over here with this. Like Laura is going to be the way more masculine person. So, like just for that matter, like, you know, like just knowing in the chart, you know, just knowing based on the chart of Denis that he has so much Libra, you know, you get that clue that he, you know, that like anyone that has that much Aries is going to be intimidating, right? So I'm curious, like if you guys do schedule a follow-up, how that played out and how long you guys have been together and kind of how that played out. Like I just took my sleep little melatonin things because it's late as hell and I'm gonna sleep after this. But yeah, how that played out, super important. And because Aries can be so much more dominant than Libra. So it's really important, like as your relationship counselor. No, just to like for yeah, for the Libra side, which can be so like it can be kind of a pushover to not be like that. But also there's this thing in astrology which is like kind of why I always say like do your birth chart, that the opposite sign, so let's say like someone's an Aries, someone's a Libra. Sometimes because they're opposite signs, like you can act more like your opposite sign than your actual sign. So yeah. All right. I think let's see with the nodes. What else is going on here? Okay. Ooh, okay. So one thing to watch out for is the Neptune square Sun. Like where, you know, there can be like a sacrificing of each person's personal needs. So it's really important to like, you know, to keep like your guys' creative dreams alive and to not go that route. Sometimes people that have this like turn to drugs, alcohol, like escapist behavior when they're not able to, you know, and like how I would say like with the rest of your chart, like express like this like imaginative but also like communicative, like high communication part of the chart. So that's really important. Okay. Also, you know, with Neptune square Mars, there you know, it can be like just like, you know, I don't see this with like the rest of like what I've seen, but people who have this just like in a vacuum, which you can't take anything in astrology in a vacuum, there can be issues with deceit and lies with Neptune square Mars. So yeah, lots of squares. So this is definitely like a very, very karmic relationship. It's unbelievable actually. And then we got to the final part, the nodes. I've talked about a lot of them, but like, yeah, there's just like I really would love to have a follow up with you guys if you guys are interested, because I would really love to hear how the lived experience kind of combines the astrology. I'm probably not going to remember anything I said, right? Or like very few things. That's just how it is. Well, once you start like reminding me, I start remembering. But like, yeah, you know, it's clear, you know, that now that I'm looking at like the final parts, like the North Node, like Laura's or Denis's North Node square Laura's moon. You know, like I mean, even like squares and oppositions, like you guys have a lot of those, and one like less mature astrologer might say, oh my god, you guys have so many squares, so many oppositions. Like like that's so much tension, that's so much difficulty, so like, but no, but that's the whole point. It's like it's not supposed like to be easy. Like those are meant to be overcome, and then they become superpowers, you know? Like with the Mars and Neptune thing I was just explaining, like the highest vibration of that is like about art, like having being able to like create together, right? So that's really, really important. But yeah, like the square at the moon, it's you know, like just the fact that there's even the connection of the moon is that you know, your guys' emotional lives are like are changed forever, like once you meet, you know. And there's strong feelings, and there can be, you know, emotional difficulties that come from the past life that have to, because it's the south node, right? Like there's unfinished emotional stuff that you guys have to meet, and you have to figure out in this lifetime, right? And like the path to true love is not easy, right? That quote. And that's definitely true for you guys, but man, is it worth it? So besides that, you know, we see a trine with Laura's Jupiter and Denis's North Node. So one second. And that's just like really, really positive past life energy. That's just basically like a positive and uplifting combination between you guys karmically. So very good. And then there's also, ooh, I love that to finish off. Well, actually, no, not to finish off. Oh, wait, hold up. Does that make sense? Why is that saying the same thing twice? I think it's just somehow, wait, why is it showing the same aspect twice? Oh, because it's south node and north node. So yeah, so Saturn is trine the south node / you know, sextile, whatever, the south node. It's the same thing, they're opposite parts of the chart. And that is like the best way to end it. And literally that's like literally saying like you guys are meant to be married. Saturn's the glue that holds relationships together on a long-term basis. It's the glue. And you guys have a lot of Saturn, a lot of Capricorn. You know, it's a part of relationship astrology that allows people to just stay together. It's like those couples you look at, you're like, wow, how the fuck are they still together? Like it seems like they're always gonna break up, like that kind of stuff, right? And then you have the other couples where you're like, oh, they're gonna get married. They're so perfect. Like me and my girlfriend, for example, and I talked about this her like a good amount, but it's just like such a good example. Like, you know, I don't think about marriage or anything like that. Like it hasn't crossed my mind, but like, you know, who knows, right? Definitely the most serious relationship I've ever had. And she was like with her friend, they're like drinking, and she was like, what if Jesse's very slow? And her friend was like, no, like not like in a weird way, but it just showed like how like these types of Capricornian relationships, like Saturn / Pluto relationships, like which both of us are, everything is really hidden. So like the friends and the people around you are not going to understand it. But the fact that Saturn's here, it's like that's the glue that holds you guys together through the hard times. It's like if you guys break up, it's like what brings you guys back together, right? So yeah, very, very important. So yeah, it's a very super karmic relationship. I think I've said a lot. I hope I haven't lost you guys. I'm scared to look at how long I've spoken for. 2 hours ish, probably like 2 hours 10. But anyways, that's it. Let me know if you want to do a follow up. I can definitely lock in you know, a $20 discount. And yeah, take your time with that. Or if this is all you needed, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys soon. All right. Bye-bye. Ciao.